Hello, I'm Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Realtor Ron Padgett. Welcome back to another edition of Cool Digs with Ron. Today we're going to be talking about scraps. But before we get to scraps, I think that we need to talk about the elephant in the room. And that is what's going on with me, Ron Padgett. I am Ron Padgett. And yes, I am wearing a rock and roll sweatshirt. Let's all just acknowledge it, okay? It's the elephant in the room. I know you all are saying, like, what the hell is Ron Padgett doing in a rock and roll sweatshirt? It was sent to me by mistake from Amazon, and I have decided to go ahead and own it. As I tried to return it, and they said not to bother, so I didn't. And I kept it, and since I am a fashion icon here in Cincinnati, and those are not my words. Those are the words arbiter of all things fabulous in Cincinnati, crack reporter Phil Armstrong in his May 3rd, 2020 article in Cincinnati Refined about me, Ron Padgett, and some of my fashion choices. So anyway, as a fashion icon, I've decided I am decreeing from on high that the must-have winter accessory, the one piece that you need for your winter wardrobe, is a rock and roll sweatshirt. So everybody get out there and get a rock and roll sweatshirt. Let's all be cool. All right, awesome. So back to scraps. As you know, I just finished sewing up my the fabric top that I made for my tinted gazebo in the backyard. It is up. It is beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Let's face facts, it could be better. I'm not a professional sewer, but listen, I think it looks great. I'm happy. That's all that matters. So, of course, I do have some fabric scraps here, and I'm taking these fabric scraps of this beautiful fabric, which I have coined Blanche Devereaux Boudoir. If you're out there, you're watching this, and you know what I mean by Blanche Devereaux Boudoir, then you, my dear, are operating on an accelerated level of fabulosity. You're kind of... there's fabulous, and then there's fabulous, and there's fabulous, and there's like, oh my God, that's just fabulous. You're up here, so congratulations. Anyway, so we're going to talk about also our renovations in real estate, okay? So I recently was showing a property to a client of mine, and it looked great. We're all excited, right? It's in a rather expensive neighborhood, a highly desirable neighborhood, and yet it is a good 30%, 35% under market value. So what's going on there? Because when you run your comps and you're running it according to bedrooms, bathrooms, off-street parking, yard, square footage, all that kind of stuff, and you're running the comps, you're like, wait, this house is like 35% cheaper or under market, so it's cheaper than other houses that have sold in the neighborhood. What's going on there? Well, you get in and you realize, oh, okay, it's a newly renovated house. It's a newly renovated house that was put together with scraps. It was scrap cabinetry, scrap remnants of carpet. They had new windows, yes, but the windows didn't fit. So instead of putting the money out to get windows that fit, they forced these windows in and then wedged them in with scraps of wood around it. So, so in order to buy that house, what you're going to have to do is you're going to go in, rip out the renovation that they just did, redo it in what you really want and the quality that you want. So the question becomes, now, is it worth it? The answer is no. That house is priced way too high to support a whole new renovation. So what those homeowners did, or I should say investors, because these were not homeowners, this is one of those investor things, is they did a scrappy renovation, and they took what could have been a really nice house and just made it really scrappy. So who's going to spend a lot of money on a scrappy house when they have to go in and rip out your scrappy renovations to put in quality renovations and ultimately end up upside down? Owe more money on the house than it's worth? That's not a good thing. So my advice to you kids is, if you're out there and you're looking at newly renovated houses, make sure that you work with a realtor who understands the difference between a really great renovation and a scrappy one. Because there's a big, big difference. Will that house sell for 30, 35% under market value? No. And I can tell you it's not going to sell for what they're asking for it because it's still sitting there. In this neighborhood that we're talking about, I'm telling you, people would be jumping all over that property at that price point if it was worth it. But it's not. It's kind of leaning. It's kind of weird. Like they just didn't do what they needed to do to make it worth it. So, yeah, that house is going to be sitting there for a while, and I wish them luck with it. Anyway, my advice to you, okay, get a realtor who understands scraps. For example, a realtor who understands that scraps of fabric are fantastic. You can do all kinds of things with scraps of fabric. Scraps in a renovation is not fantastic. Nobody wants to buy your scrappy renovation. Be aware of that. Make sure that you're working with the realtor on the selling side or the buying side who knows the difference between a quality renovation and a scrappy renovation. All right, kids? So avoid the scrappy renovations. Work with a realtor who can keep you away from those scrappy houses, and keep moving forward. Any questions, comments? My phone number is right up there. Give me a call. Let me know how I can best help you. I hope you all are enjoying your weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good one.